Hi, I'm Chris Bober with Deeb Realty in Omaha, Nebraska, and welcome back to my real estate blog. Today I wanted to share a very personal story, and that story is how I sold my luxury real estate. When I retired from the NFL in 2008, my wife and I built a pretty spectacular home, about 10,000 square feet, 2 4-car garages, all the amenities. It was on 3.5 acres on a very prestigious lake just outside of Omaha. But after a few years, we realized that it wasn't for us. It was a little bit too big. The emotional, financial, and maintenance burden of a property like that became too much to handle, especially with young kids. We're busy going to ball games and going here and there. So we decided we would like to sell our home. So what we did is we originally purchased our home and built it for right about $2.5 million. And we thought we'd give someone a really good deal just a few years later and list it just under $2 million, thinking, hey, it's 2.5 to 2 million, pretty good deal. So we listed the property, got some immediate interest. A lot of people came out and looked at it, open houses, showings. However, what we didn't get is any written offers. So time goes on and all we can do is just lower the price until in August of 2013, after almost 2 years of listing the property, we finally got it sold for $1.25 million. Now that's definitely a very humbling pill to swallow, believe me, I know. But there's so many things that I learned through this process that I can now take and use for myself and also for my clients that I'd like to share some of them with you today. So the first thing is, when it comes to listing any kind of property, but especially luxury real estate, you need to take your emotions out of it. You know, what I tell my clients is when they choose to list their property, they put that sign in the yard and they get it, you go and get it professionally staged and photographed. So you get your stuff out of the way, put it in storage, and start planning your next move. Because really, when it's listed, it's no longer your home. It's a commodity to be sold to the highest bidder. So then you're going to let your realtor do their job and try to get you the best price in the shortest amount of time. Speaking of price, price is the #1 factor when it comes to selling real estate, especially luxury real estate. A lot of times you're not going to get what you built it for or bought it for, as you can see what I did. But using appraised data, using comparable sales data is so important. Back in September of 2012, I ordered an appraisal on my house while it was listed just to see what the market was showing because there were not a lot of comps readily available. And it came back from a very reputable appraiser at $1.25 million. And I just didn't believe it. I thought he was crazy. I told him he didn't know what he was doing. Well, almost a year later, that same property sold for $1.25 million, the same number that he appraised it at. And I would have saved myself tons of emotional stress between me and my wife, and also tons of money, a couple $100,000 I used for mortgage payments, principal and interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance. Everything that I put into that house over that time frame, I would have saved and got it done in time. So pricing is the most important thing. You need to listen to a professional when it comes to pricing your property. The third thing I learned is that the MLS works. You know, my property was not in the MLS, but an MLS agent happened to see it because of another property he showed. He ended up getting the deal done. Now, going through that process, the data the MLS presents and being a realtor was so important to me that just a few months later, at the end of 2013, I switched companies to become a realtor with Deeb Realty. It was that important to me. The last thing I want to talk about is when you list your property, it needs to be show ready at all times. What does that mean? That means that at any moment someone can come in there and look at your property. So whenever you go to work or school for the day, make sure your property is ready to go if an agent wants to come by. Because you never know when that agent or that buyer is going to call your realtor on the phone and say, I need to see that property this afternoon, or I have a buyer in town tomorrow and it has to be ready. So always have it ready. So those are some of the lessons that I learned in buying, listing, and selling my luxury real estate, both for myself and also selling several pieces for my clients in the past. So I hope you take these lessons and you know them. I think it's important for you to know my story, know how I got to all the way from the NFL to Deeb Realty, why it's important for me to be a realtor, and the lessons that I've learned. So if you have any real estate needs, whether it's luxury real estate, whether it's unique farm, ranch, recreational real estate, or if you just have a regular old home, give Chris Bober a call at Deeb Realty. And also, for more information, check out my website at chrisbober.com. Thanks and have a great day.